Hi everyone, this is February 9th. Very excited to do a new moon video. I almost wasn't going to do it because I've been doing a house project, redoing my kitchen table, but I am taking a break today after being on my butt on a concrete floor to paint these intricate legs on this table. Well, I sanded, primed it, painted. And I'm giving myself a day of reprieve before getting to the top of the table on the weekend. So I was actually really excited. Spirit wasn't nudging me one way or another to do video for today, but I keep seeing recurring themes. And I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful day to just really dive deep into some intentional work. And it's a very powerful new moon. Anything you want to set intentions is just a powerful time to do it. And for myself, I've been kind of just tapping into it and just thought, why not share it? And I have the time and everything aligned perfectly to do so. So here I am. I don't know if everyone caught my last video. It's still crazy energies. It's still like how I see it is it's just, if we keep seeing things, how do I say this? Spirit just wants us to learn how to look at things with a different perspective. If we keep handling situations and tough situations the same way, if we're talking ourselves out of doing things that we know, like if we keep talking ourselves out of things that we know we should be doing just to like, let's not rock the boat or cause like issues here. Let's not change dynamics because then it's just a thing, a big thing. Spirit just really wants to start looking at things from a different perspective and to do things differently. And it's all meant to get us out of the ego, to really get in touch with our soul selves, who we are on a deeper level, and to stand in that energy and to honor yourself through it. So if you're finding patterns coming up and things are feeling uncomfortable or crunchy or heightened, really just try to look at it from a different perspective. And sometimes it just takes a matter of getting out of the energy to look at it differently as opposed to being within it all. And I go into detail about that in my last video. And I always go with patterns for my validation. And I've not just been seeing this quote, but also using it to explain to others what this energy is all about. And it's drawing the line in the sand. So if you're with people and there's power imbalances, or you're seeing behaviors you no longer want to be in, and or just in situations that just feel incredibly uncomfortable and bringing up emotions, that old emotions that you thought you were over with, and those things are coming back, it's just a matter of seeing where you need to draw the line in the sand. Maybe it's for yourself, maybe it's for other people. It's just it's like saying enough's enough, like I'm not carrying on this way anymore. And it doesn't have to be aggressive, it just can be in like this love, and it's love for self, right? You're honoring who you are. And I just find it particularly fitting, as that's how spirit works. That's how the universe works. It's just everything just flows just so divinely and perfect, because as I was gathering my information for this new moon, I wanted to see where the new moon was. And I just did a quick Google, and it's a super new moon, sorry. And it does hit 100% darkness at 5:59 p.m. And the super new moon's in Aquarius. And I saw this thing popped up from some horoscope site, and all I saw was the word boundaries. Like, you know how like Google will show you the different sites and then some, couple sentences of what's in the website. I saw boundaries. So I tapped into that, and so it's a time for boundaries, a time to be conscious while you're looking at your life. You're looking at yourself, and you're looking at the relationship to yourself. How do you take care of yourself? How do you honor yourself? Are you being true? Are you following your resonance? Are you following what sparks joy? Are you honoring who you are? Or are you still spreading yourself thin for others? Are you dimming your light to make other people comfortable? Are you holding yourself back? Are you rising to the occasion or taking the path of least resistance? In other words, playing it safe. So, looking at the significance of the super new moon is all about relationship with self and sticking to your boundaries, and like just being firm about what you don't want and what you want. Just because you're just done disrespecting your spirit, your soul, your heart. Nothing wrong with boundaries. I think it could be done very healthy. I've done it many times in the last few years of just completely changing things up and pulling a 180 and just saying like enough. Like, I know for years these are things, tendencies, and that I just gave permission. Truly, that's how it is, because we do it in our energy, and we give permission for these things to happen in our life. And it's because I wasn't standing up for my own energy, standing up for what feels good to me and what doesn't feel good anymore. And it's especially family dynamics. I think that's a huge theme right now. Luckily, the family stuff has kind of calmed down for me, but I mean, it's still in my awareness, and I know that things with my dad are not always perfect. So it's not even about him. It's all about me. And people can't, for a long time I used to be bitter because no one validated me, and no one recognized where I was at. No one recognized my own worth. And at the end of the day, it was that mirror moment where I realized, well, no one's going to respect how I feel and see my worth if I'm not doing it for myself. So you have to really come from that love. It's like a nurturing part of you that you need to nurture your soul through life, and it can't just be spreading yourself thin to make everyone else happy. And you'll always have those people in your life where they expect that, and you give and you give and you give, and it's never enough. It's never enough, and it's never you're never given a moment to breathe, because it's just, they get so used to taking and taking and taking, and the only way it stops is with you. And it doesn't even have to be, like I said, aggressive. It just has to be with like that, like, I just need time. I need time. I need my time to recharge, to rebalance. And it's just tipping the scales. And it's not about stop giving to other people, but it's also balancing that. So yeah, I'm going to give to other people, but I'm also going to give what I need to myself too. And it can't just be on everybody else's terms. It's mine as well. So it's, again, just tipping those scales to balance, recognizing that, when you are spread thin or what you're putting up with constantly, and just saying like, I'm done with this, but with lots of love. We'll reconnect again. I just need my moments to breathe and to just, protect my energy, rebalance my energy. So, I just, again, love how it segues right into the super new moon with everything that's been going on and all the energies and that chaos. So, a good time to set intentions. And I'm going to pull cards today. So I haven't pulled any to get a general idea, but you're going to see it from the beginning. So I'm going to just get started, and we're going to pull. So I'm pulling from the There Are No Coincidences by Eliza. Oh, a bunch came out. I only want one card. So yeah, There Are No Coincidences by Eliza Kelly. And we're going to get the overall theme for this super new moon. So Spirit, can you give us the theme for this super new moon? Two came out. I really didn't want two of them, but let's see which one, because I know Spirit will guide me. So I got Jupiter and Fog. Again, this is a deck I'm not familiar with, so that actually feels, the Fog card feels relevant. Maybe they do go together. Let me see what Jupiter has to say. I think they were meant to come out. Curious if those were the two that wanted to come out before and I just threw them back in the deck. All right, so Fog. The key words here is seduction, mystery, delusion, and intrigue. I won't read the story because this is a lot, but I'll just get right into the interpretation. So it says the Fog card isn't intrinsically challenging. In the opportune circumstances, this card sprinkles magic and mystery on even the most mundane situations, transforming ordinary circumstances into whimsical encounters. Like the femme fatale archetype enveloped in smoke at the back of a dark dive bar, Fog evokes the moody, seductive atmosphere perfectly captured in film noir. In most contexts, however, Fog indicates that a situation isn't being seen clearly. Fog is blurring the line between fantasy and reality, making it difficult to truly comprehend actions, choices, and nuances. Just as ships, planes, and cars are delayed or halted by fog rolling across the horizon, this card advises you to take a pause. As you cannot clearly see the road ahead, it's best to slow down and wait until visibility improves. After all, fog is best observed from afar. Again, that rings true with what I was saying about being conscious and looking at your life, looking at things, but you have to almost step out of the energy to see things clearly, to see like the big aha moments. Because this represents, so the fog is when you're in all the emotion, you're in all the situation, and you're reacting from that place, or you're making decisions from that place. And if you just pluck yourself, just step out of the fog to look at things clearly, to look at the big perspective, you can make moves that are more higher aligned and that are more in that sovereignty energy that Spirit is always trying to remind us that we have available. Let me just write this down though. Okay. Now Jupiter. The key words here are luck, opportunity, indulgence, and optimism. So it says Jupiter's presence can be extremely auspicious. Perhaps there's a new opportunity coming your way, or if you've been feeling listless and uninspired, Jupiter's appearance may signify a brilliant eureka moment that enables you to look at your situation from a totally different point of view. Jupiter's expansive scope enables us to broaden our horizons, and likewise, the appearance of this card indicates great potential. But be careful, Jupiter knows nothing of moderation, so this card could also signal that certain behaviors, ideas, or compulsions have gotten out of hand, possibly from being in that fog. As such, a massive planet, Jupiter's all about scale. Jupiter magnifies anything it touches, which means that whatever circumstances you're currently navigating have been expanded exponentially, maybe even blown out of proportion. In this case, the Jupiter card may come as a warning. When in doubt, slow down. At the end of the day, there's nothing more sustainable than moderation. There was some keywords I was shown. Well, let's just look at the fact that, you know, to look at things, situations from a different point of view. I started off saying that. And yeah, there is great potential. And that, to me, is showing, like, once you do decide to step out of the fog, look at things from a different point of view, there is great potential. That's where clarity is, when you're able to pause, when you're able to just disconnect from the heightenedness of what's going on and just unplug for a moment and look at it from a practical, logical point of view. If you let those emotions just take over, then so does the ego. And then it's just erratic. How I see it energetically is just chaos. It's chaos because there's no groundedness there. So it's just like crazy energies that are sparking everywhere, and it's just from the emotion of everything. It's like, why do things always happen to me? But then, like, in that energy alone, like, you're not grounded, you're just scattered. So yeah, let me just write that too, Jupiter. And the fact that saying that things are magnified at the moment, they sure are. I'm seeing lessons, people's karmic paths, like karmic, it's so hard to explain the karmic part of it because some of it is deeper than what you think, but for some it's just like circumstantial stuff from the past. Like if you didn't handle a certain situation in the best energy, you're always going to be given another opportunity to do it again, but with a new way of doing it. So that's why it's like this persistent energy right now to truly just get people to really look at it differently and to do things from a different stance than just doing things the same way. But let me, yeah. Eureka moments. There's definitely, if you look at circumstances with as like, okay, what's the lesson here, as opposed to like the victimhood of whatever you're in. Yeah, you may have aha moments. You may have those eureka moments. You may just waken up to like, oh my God, like I am actually part accountable for all this crap that's coming into my life because I literally never stand up for myself. And I'm allowing these things to happen over and over and over again. So those aha moments can be very, very loud. It's there. Yeah, magnifying. And then I'm going to put pause. Both cards are saying to pause. I think I said that in the last video too. Didn't I? Taking a pause. Yeah, I did. I think it was like along the lines of like, take time to breathe, step away, disconnect, get out of that energy you're in, go for walks. Like that's where clarity comes. You can't just like overanalyze your way through it. You just have to just surrender to what's happening and let the clarity come in. All right, so let's pull some from the Light Seers Tarot. You know, it's funny because I was talking to Archangel Michael just had a moment yesterday when I paint or when I'm doing makeup, when I'm doing things that that takes some concentration. I find that's when I'm like the most open and can have these like conversations with the other side. But I kind of was like, why? Like, I feel like a lot of my messaging and the things I'm dealing with, or how I read when I'm reading, is really a lot of the same. Like, it's all about, you know, people like just trying to help people step into their sovereignty and empowerment and to empower themselves. And why is the message always somewhat the same? And why am I, you know, like, it's like, I almost feel like I'm being repetitive, but not always. But it's generally the same kind of messaging. And I know that I know a lot of like my passion comes from getting people empowered to take, you know, like control of their lives and to do what's right for them. But it's funny, Archangel Michael like was just kind of like, because I've done it my whole life, and not perfectly, mind you, but I've always been one to stand up for myself and not be swayed by other people. Although, like I said, I didn't always. There was moments where I was soft or just tired, and just went with the flow with everybody else. And yeah, I had my own programs and beliefs running as well that totally blinded me to what you know, my people pleasing tendencies and all of that. But like, you can ask all my friends, like even my mom always says, like, when you want something or when you feel something, you really just like go at it and you go for it, and you don't hold back. And it's just, for me, this is where maybe I get frustrated when I try to empower my own friends and family, and then they kind of take the like safer path, or they don't go in on themselves all the way. And just as an energetic standpoint, for me, I just think that's a waste of time, because then you're just going to keep continuing patterns over and over and over again until you decide to go all in for yourself. Like I feel it in my gut, my chakras, my lower chakras, like I feel it there, and it's like this nudge, like you can't let this go, you can't let this go, you can't let this go, like you can't, you know, just shut up and bear this. And so I follow my resonance a lot, even before I was even aware, truly. Like I was a very stubborn person. I did things my way. I hated being told you got to do things this way. So it's that black sheep energy that I've always reveled in. Like I loved being black sheep. I love being like the rebellious one. Like I'll show you can, like, that I can do things differently, and I'm still always in the same spot as everybody else who has. So, like, does it matter about what you do along your journey? As long as you're following your own journey and not being told how things are. And, or if you feel good about doing it, do it. You follow your resonance. But if there's a part of you that's just like, oh, like I hate having to do this, I just want to do things my way. Stand up for yourself and just do it, right? So I find it interesting. I think if you follow me, you watch my videos, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. Like if you want to be empowered in your own life, if you want to take the reins in your own life, follow your resonance, I'm like the person to help you. If you're looking for other existential advice, I may not be the person for you. And you know, if you're a person who does like doing things A to Z and you don't really like rebellious people, I may not be the person for you. Even when I watch movies, I am like a huge fan of the underdog. I'm a huge fan of the ones that do it differently. I'm a huge fan of the nerds who like people dismiss but end up being right at the end, because like people have so much to offer, and some people are just so blind. They'll like judge things. They judge the book of the cover and not quite think someone does. And I just love when like I see the underdogs or the rebellion. See, I'm thinking Star Wars, the rebellion. Yeah, the Rebel Alliance. So it's just like, I love seeing the underdogs. Why does things have to be one way? They don't. So that's what you're looking for. I'm your person, because I mean, at some point the messaging could change. It could be in a whole new phase in my life where other things may come up for me to talk about and channel. But for now, it's just, I think I'm going to be pertaining a lot to the side of spirit that wants people to be in their sovereign energy. And it's, I think it's just because our world's been ruled so much in one way or another about how to be. But there's room for the black sheep. There's room. There's a lot. They have a lot to offer. All right, let's see what the cards have here. Let's see what's at the bottom. You know what's funny? I dreamt about this card last night. Well, it wasn't last night. It was right before I woke up. In my dream, I was pulling cards, and this card pulled up. The scales. It's the balance. It's bringing things to balance. It's, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's seeing where maybe you're being taken advantage of. It's where you see that you're giving way too much energy to people that you don't even have, or what you don't give yourself. And it's like, it's at the point, like it's waking up to that and be like, no, I need some balance in my life. I also need to have like moments of joy, and my own yeah, I just keep hearing resonance, following your internal guide. But yeah, so Ace of Cups was first. With this card, it's like you got to know who you are. You got to know your resonance. You got to know yourself at a soul level. That's where a lot of, well, I'm hearing subconscious. Yeah, like your subconscious houses your internal blueprint. And it's the programs and beliefs that get in the way of really reaching deep and knowing who you are at that level. Anything else, Spirit, for this card? I'm seeing, okay, so I'm being shown people who meditate, people who walk in nature, the people who know to slow down can really reach this level and know what sparks in them and what doesn't spark in them. The people are always on the go. The people always need to keep busy. The people that can't be on their own or sit in stillness, they are disconnected. I see like I see it as like a person and like their soul within. I'm seeing it between the solar plexus and the heart chakra. It's like this other beam of light there, but then the channel to that is closed because it's in stillness. It awakens. It's that stillness where it shines a little bit brighter that brings it into our awareness. But if you're always busy, always need to keep going with something. I'm seeing like the person who always needs to have the TV on. I'm bad for that sometimes. When I'm in the kitchen, I just have a background show on, and I know that I need to be sometimes just turning it off so I can have clarity come through. But yeah, it's the people who just carry on. I'm hearing they just carry on. It's I'm seeing blindfolds. They're carrying on blindly, not knowing what brings them joy. They just find the answers in others. They find the answers in possibly society. It's like more external. I'm seeing like someone's energy and the intentions outside of them as opposed to inside of them. Yeah, see, the Knight of Swords and the Moon card came up. Oh man, so seeing this card, so this is the card where like it's help in unexpected ways. It's doing anything for your family or your loved ones. It's I can drop anything. I'll drop anything to help my family, which is a beautiful characteristic to have. But how Spirit's showing it to me is where like the imbalance, when you're doing it too much or doing it for the wrong people, the people who won't do that for you, the people who almost expect it from you but don't. And I don't want to say that either, because everyone's different. Not everyone helps people the same way, or people hold things, but it's the blatantly obvious people that take advantage, or don't take it for the intention for what it is. You're helping people. I'm seeing someone helping someone, but the person you're helping is like laughing. Like, it's like, I have power over you now. I just have to like snap my fingers and you'll come to me. It's those people don't always have the best intentions towards. I'm seeing it as like an energy exchange. If you're giving, and that person's taking, it's an imbalance there. And the Moon card, I mean, a lot of reasons why the Moon card will come up. New moon is today. But the new moon is showing here that, or the Moon card is showing like where the disillusion is. I'm hearing that. And yeah, I can relate to this. So it's like the people-pleasing energy. It's like, again, it's that adage again, where it's like some people have this idea that to be a good person is to be this energy, to be that for so many people. I got your back. I will always be there. I will save the day. You can always count on me. But it's like I'm being shown where you're not giving yourself the same respect. You're not giving yourself the same, so you're not being that energy for yourself, like recognizing when maybe you need something, but then you're pushing your needs aside because of everybody. You're just this person for everybody else, but not for you. I'm being shown that as like a disillusion. There are other aspects Spirit's showing me, but I'm not going down that path. I'm just seeing that there's some programs and beliefs rooted in religion as well. It's like that martyr energy. And Spirit's just showing that, like, that's take it for what you will. Spirit is saying that is not sovereignty, nor is that freedom. So take it for what you will. I know some people are very rooted in their religious, like I was raised Catholic, and this martyr energy is very prevalent with some people in my family. And then sure enough, these are the people who get taken advantage of all the time as well. So take it for what you will. I'm just being shown that it's a program that is, again, an illusion of the truth. But yeah, so the full moon's all about highlighting these things. in the full moon energy, it's all about illuminating where these little pockets of shadows or programs or beliefs that aren't serving us or aren't moving us forward with our potential, with our growth. But I'm being shown the new moon. The purpose of the new moon is to find that within yourself. Like, you don't have to wait for the full moon energy to illuminate it. That the new moon is really wanting people to wake up to it on their own by taking the time for reflection, taking that time for stillness, taking that time for pause. Pause is so neat. That's been like a reoccurring message for a while now, is taking a pause and think about, just on a general level, you go through something heightened, like, just say like your normal reaction to something really, okay, like your kid disrespects you for the 100th time and all of a sudden that anger comes up. Think about how powerful it is when you recognize, oh, I'm feeling angry. I may actually say something I don't mean. I'm going to pause. Think about the power in that and the clarity that comes with that. You have a moment to breathe. You have a moment to see it in a different perspective, and then you can collect yourself, and you can still honor your anger, you can still honor your emotions, but you're not reacting from that place anymore. You're reacting from a more calmer state. And when you're calm, your heart is open more. When you're angry and you let that anger just take over you, and that's where you react from, your heart is closed. Because anger it's an energy that doesn't reside there, and it actually holding on to it too long closes the heart. So take that for what you will. This is definitely an energy being highlighted right now. Anything else for that? No. Let's carry on. So I'm 4 of Cups. This card to me is always the brat energy. Doesn't necessarily mean bratness too, but it's also thinking the grass is greener on the other side. It's notice just even the symbolism of this. She has like all these cups, but she doesn't care. Like, it's the energy of having so much to be grateful for, but you're still looking at whatever. It's the jealousy, right? You see everybody else have things and now you want it. And it's like, now you're not in gratitude for what you have. Now it's almost like a resentment or like spite, you know what I mean? So it's, this energy, gotta be very careful. I'm being shown now, this energy of, and pertaining to this, is the person who doesn't feel seen. It's like, I'm seeing, so this is the person who realizes, oh, I do this all the time. I'm always this for everybody. I show up when people need it. I help when people need it. I'm sacrificing myself to help everybody, and no one's seeing me. No one's appreciating me. Spirit is also telling me that, again, this is a lot of tough love messaging. But people need to hear it. I love tough love energy. I learned the best in tough love energy. Don't mind my cat feeder. It just went off and it's my voice. Back to that, Spirit. Can you bring that vision back? Okay, so this is the card of taking accountability. Spirit showing me that, and I think I said this already. Like, how are people, you teach people how to treat you. So if you are sacrificing yourself and your needs and the other people in your life to be this for other people, what message are you sending? Because you have to validate yourself. you have to validate your own needs. No one else is going to do it. I'm here. No one's going to, no one's going to understand you. No one's going to hear you. No one's going to recognize you until you do it for yourself. Because when you turn your back on all those aspects, you're giving permission. You're giving permission. It's just basically what you're doing. What you're saying is, my needs aren't important to me, so therefore it's not going to be important to everybody else. But then when you find yourself in this energy where you've noticed yourself giving in a one-sided situation, this when you start realizing, well, the people I keep giving to, the people that I'm always like overextending for, aren't noticing me. They're not respecting me. They're not acknowledging me. They're not seeing me for who I am. It's basically like the energy of this card is saying, well, then start recognizing it for yourself. What does that even look like? When you start respecting your own needs, what does that look like? Because it's different. It's different than this card. It's more this card. Centered, grounded, balanced. It's this card. Balanced. It's balanced. And then Spirit's saying, now this is a twofold. This is a defiant energy. The doing too much of this for others, but then not doing this for yourself, you become cold. You can become very cold. You can become very angry. Okay. It's like if you let the, how do you want me to say this, Spirit? Spirit's showing me like you can go the opposite way. So if you take the time to be centered and to respect yourself, honor yourself, doing it from that space, you can be more like this. Go with the flow. Like you're just flowing through life and everything's balanced, and you know that stress and anxieties and like it's more peace and harmony this way. But if you let it make you rigid, if you let this energy take over, if you just start being bitter because people aren't seeing you, without realizing and having the awareness that all you have to do is give it to yourself instead, and stop expecting other people outside of you to do it. But yeah, if you let that energy take over, you become like it's very cold, very, like it's a different defiance. Yeah. I'm hearing like you can say things, you end up saying things you may regret, things that you may not come back from. And then there's this, like the fence is showing the division. It's like, well, I'm on here now. I'm on this side, and you're not on my side. And it can be very, yeah, it's not the best energy to do it from. It's not a best energy to make that decision from or get resentful from. Spirit's showing me another side to this card, though, that once you do these things and you become centered and you start giving whatever it is that you need, this can be like also your energy. You are becoming more the protector to your own soul. You're being the protector to your own energy. And it's like, yeah, like this is I'm taking a stand for myself. So it can go either way depending on how you look at it. And again, isn't the new moon all about looking at your relationship with self from a different perspective? Is there anything else from this deck? Oh, 2 cards want to fly out. Page of Swords. So this is about So Page of Swords is when you take all your logic, you take all your skill and you put it into action. You start to learn more, and you're starting to see the aha moments, and you're starting to put things together. This card can mean many things, but that's how Spirit is showing me. Spirit's also showing me that this is like clearly, this is the act of getting to know who you are. She's also juggling a lot of things here as she's doing it, but Spirit's showing me that you can walk through life. I'm seeing, it's like more this energy. You can be all the things for everybody, but you can also be all that for yourself too. And this is like taking the time to do it. It's seeing the balance in it all. It's setting new terms to create that balance, and you're doing it for yourself. And of course, enjoying the fruits of your labor, the peace and harmony that comes with it. Everything becomes more aligned. Things become easy. Relationships become easy. Lines aren't blurred. Everyone's in their own lane, but everyone's just, just content. It's like everyone's doing them in their own way, and they can come together in a beautiful, harmonic way, but then still like have their peace, and everyone goes on to their own things, and it's just like completely smooth. It's smooth. Life is smooth. That would be nice considering the chaos we've been having lately, but it's really just deciding for yourself to like, no, like there's got to be a new way. I'm going to hold all these things together. The bottom of the card I noted, Four of Pentacles. You'll find a new way to be generous with your time. You'll find a new way to be just generous in general. And it's... Spirit's also saying this is twofold. You find a new way to be generous. You find a new way where instead of spreading thin, it's like everyone has... There's balance with everyone, but because you're giving to yourself, the quality of what you're giving to people is even better, right? You can't give from an empty tank. It's like, okay, Spirit's showing me a conversation I had with my spouse, and this was like a while ago. And he started a new position, and he used to get really, really stressed. And his quality of time home wasn't the best. I mean, the kids weren't getting the best of him. I wasn't getting the best of him. And I had to tell him, like, it's about balancing, because if you're giving work 110% and we're just getting the leftovers, not saying like not to do your job, but there was a lot of stressful things going on where he felt like he had to give more than what he had to work, to feel like he was above the chaos, even though it really didn't help him. It was just it's a lack of balance. It's a lack of communicate. There was a lot of things there with work at the time. But he was spreading himself so thin to the point where at home we were getting the worst of him. And I was just kind of like, hey, like, let's check in and just let you know, like, you're snapping at the kids, you're snapping at me. Is there any techniques and is there anything you can do where, like, you come home and you can just recharge and not bring home all that chaos, energy, and that stress at home? So, I mean, and sometimes it just takes having that awareness and saying, like, you're right. Like, I'm giving everyone else the best parts of me, but not to the people who really, I don't want to say deserve it, but like the people directly in your life who, yeah, I'm going to say, does they deserve it, right? They, like, our kids deserve to have the best parts of their parents. And wives and husbands deserve to have the best parts from their partner. but in like through thick and thin at the same time, right? Like we have our low moments. It's a difference of like, you know, having 1 or 2 days of stressful days and coming home and needing to just, you know, crash or like dissociate a little bit. But when it's every day, every day, every day, that mounts and then it's totally imbalanced. So this card's like saying like it's be aware of your energy and what you have to give. A balanced energy is making sure, you know, you're giving yourself the best parts of you and you're giving the people in your life the best parts of you and getting your priorities in check. If you're giving your energy to other things, the best parts of you to other things that maybe shouldn't be at the top of your list of priorities, should maybe be in the middle, maybe even the bottom, right? It's always being aware of like, okay, you know, I need to give myself time. I need to give the people in my life time. But you can only do that when you have that awareness of your energy, how you're spending it, and making sure that it's fair and it's balanced. Okay, let's pull something from the dragon deck, because I am loving that deck and it's so good. Does the dragon energy have anything to say? Oh, already. Justice card. The Justice card. Look at the scales. She's holding her scales. Balance. Balance. Have awareness. Have awareness of your energy. And you have to have that pause. Anything else, Dragon Tarot? Anything else to go with that card? Okay, so 3 major arcana cards means major energy. We got the Justice card, but then the High Priestess card came out, and then the Empress card came out. Let me just sit with these for a second. All right, well, balance is needed. High Priestess. The High Priestess is just very intuitive. Become intuitive to your own energy, what you're capable of, how you're spending it, how you're recharging it, because that, your energy is where the quality of everything you do, that's where it comes from, is in your awareness of your energy. Give me an example, Spirit. Yeah, it's just in what we're saying. Again, back to like my spouse, right? Okay, so how Spirit's showing me in that analogy or that story I told you about my spouse, if you're not aware of your energy and how you're spending it and how you're taking care of it, Spirit showed me, okay, like the energy and chaos at his work and the stress and how not grounding himself, not having awareness, not allowing things to just, like giving himself the time to just have that moment for himself or pause. That, all that chaos energy bled into our energy of my home, of our relationships. It just tainted. It's just tainting. What are you tainting? Where's the quality of your energy? How are you taking care of it? And where are you spreading it? Like if your energy is tainted because you're not taking care of it, then where are you also tainting? Like where are you spreading it? The Empress card. So the Empress card's like birthing something new. It's the ability to take energy and change it. And this card's just reminding us that, okay, so Spirit's saying like the High Priestess is also setting that intention to balance. Like from now on, I'm balancing my energy. From now on, I'm gonna I have awareness to my energy. And the Empress is showing us a new path. It's like a new timeline. It's a new energy to walk in. Interesting. So Spirit's showing that like we are on whatever path we're on. And with that path we choose based on our awareness, based on like our frequency, and how we do things, right? Because how we do things, the energy, how we do things, it's like it anchors in more of that vibration. So Spirit showing me a path, a timeline of someone who plays it small, of someone who spreads themselves thin, who doesn't honor themselves. Spirit showing me this one path, and it's like like those obstacles on that path do not stop. It's just like a recurring obstacle after obstacle, after lesson after lesson. And I'm just seeing like this one timeline going straight, and it's just one thing. And then it's like, as soon as you set that intention for yourself to like, I'm no longer operating from this way. I'm being shown another path. And those obstacles from that one timeline can't move into this new timeline. Not saying you don't have obstacles, they're just different. It's always lessons to level up your frequency. And then like your timelines change again, and then it's like those obstacles are done, and then it's like maybe a set of new ones, but they may be like easier, not as like heightened, right? It just could be like smaller. But if we keep choosing the same path, these obstacles, they get bigger and bigger. They mount and mount and mount and mount and mount. And yeah, it's just like it's like never ends. You may have moments of pause or moments where it's not happening, and then boom, the same, like it will be the same patterns over and over again until you choose to step in another timeline, and it's cleaner. Even the energy of the obstacles on that new path are smaller. Okay, so I wish I could draw what I'm being shown. Spirit's showing me on the old timeline, or the timeline, if you're doing things in the same thing, the obstacles for every opportunity, they start small. And then, okay, it's a small obstacle. Oh, you didn't choose to be in your sovereignty. You didn't choose to stand up for yourself, or you didn't choose to do things in awareness. Okay, fine. You handle that obstacle in the same way you always do. And then down that timeline, it's like the same energy of that obstacle, but it's slightly bigger. And it just keeps getting slightly bigger. It's like the more you have those opportunities and not step into something new, and you're just constantly doing it the same way, it just gets bigger and bigger. Whereas the new timeline, I'm seeing the obstacles as like minuscule, like they're tiny. But then if you don't learn on that timeline, you keep doing things the same way, those eventually can get bigger. But it's just the leveling up of the timelines is interesting. It's like, but those, whatever obstacle you have in the new timeline is completely different in the old timeline. So if you are in a pattern and dealing with like circumstances over and over and over again, and it's meant to grow you tired until you say like, enough's enough and I'm choosing higher for myself. But then Spirit's like, oh my goodness. Spirit's like showing my dad, of course. Spirit's going to always show me in the way that I can understand. It's the stubborn energy. It's the stubborn energy. And I'm telling you, the patterns in my dad's life are loud and huge all the time. And never learns. And it's so tiring. That's why I don't involve myself as much anymore. It's like your circus, your monkeys. I'm here on my side, just vibing. And the old me, if like just say, you know, my dad had something big happen in his life, something like crazy, I would get involved. I'm like, I'm here to save the day kind of energy. The martyr energy, like totally. But now I'm just like, you let me know if you need anything, but I'm here. I'll be vibing at home. And I mean, it gets tiring giving advice too for people that just never take it. So just learn to like, they know where I am. If they need me, I'm here. But I don't assert myself in situations anymore, where I used to be that put the cape on and I'm here to save the day, and I don't do that anymore. But yeah, so couldn't be any more clear, that justice card coming through. What's on the bottom? Is that meant to be it? Oh, Two of Cups upside down. It was meant to be because it was like that. I wasn't sure if I had my cards upside. Meant to be. Two of Cups upside down. In balance. Actually, let's read. I'm hearing like read from the book. Two of Cups upside down. Disappointment, quarrels, and misunderstandings threaten to end in the breakdown of partnerships in either love or work. Beware of rash decisions you will later regret. It's worth trying to work through the difficulties first. Love it. It's that tough love approach. The energy's still around. Just beware. But this is showing me the energy. If you don't do these things, if you don't bring balance, if you don't start bringing awareness and intending for something new, and if you don't see it through and follow through and to do the work, it's just going to be disappointments and quarrels and misunderstandings. It's messy. It's messy. And just in situations that I know and what I went through the last few weeks, it's a messy energy. It's a scattered chaos energy that isn't just swirling up here how I see it. It's like it's entanglements and enmeshments, and it's like there's so much to untangle. It's more work. It's more work when you just avoid taking matters into your own hands in like an enlightened way, in a higher vibrational way. It's the having vulnerabilities. It's taking accountability. It's standing up for your peace, standing up for your energy. All right, guys, I'm leaving it at that. I think it's safe to say that this new moon, we can set the intentions to do things in more awareness and to do things differently, and to take that pause. Take that pause. Because we all know these themes are going to continue this year. Like I said, we can't hide from things anymore. We either have to deal with it or just continue doing the same things you always done, and the outcomes are going to be completely different than, because maybe we can hide away from these things and it's worked up until this point. But this year it's like there's a sense of accountability, that it's that justice card. It's to take responsibility now and to do something about it. It's in our action is what I'm hearing. All right, guys, I'm leaving it at that. Yeah, just be good to yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Take that pause. Get to know who you are. And things will pass. Things will get easier, I promise. All right, I'm leaving it at that. A lot longer than I wanted to be, but that's how it works sometimes. But I love you. Thank you for listening. And have a good new moon, this super new moon. And just take the time. Take the time to reflect. All right, guys. Love you very much. Thanks for listening. Bye.